Welcome to Okami.sigma, and today we're going to teach you how to
clean your katana.
Okay, we start this video by paying respects to the weapon. Okay, bow with your sword before you clean it. That's samurai tradition. Okay, now, and then we are going to put on our mask. Normally, traditionally, we just have some face covering to prevent moisture. So we're using oil and metal polish and tissue paper. So this is a practical way to clean your katana. Take note, we're not going to disassemble the fixtures of this katana, and we're just going to go and clean it like after you use your katana. So this is how you can easily clean it. Okay, I have a mask on me so that I won't breathe moisture that might cause rust to the blade, and I'm removing the old oil that I applied to the katana. Okay, and I'm checking the blade for any damages or rust while I'm doing so. Okay, so I'm looking at it and examining it. Okay, so far so good. I don't see any rust, but it does need regular cleaning. We don't want to take a chance because once rust comes in, it's hard to detect, especially micro cracks caused by the rust, and it might cause your blade to break. You don't want that to happen while you're practicing. Now we're gonna apply the metal polish. Just put it on the tissue paper so we can apply it to the spine and both sides of the blade. So those are the 3 dimensions that we want to polish. We're also going to polish the handguard and the brass fixtures. Now, okay, so I'm applying the metal polish on one side. Okay, let's put some more in. Okay, so I started from the bottom and then on the top, and then meeting in the middle. You can do whatever way you want to apply it. Just make sure that your fingers are safe and you don't cut yourself while cleaning your katana. So the best way is to just stick with, okay, now this is the spine. Stick with near the spine when you're applying, and then just spread it out as you go along. It will spread out near the edge of the blade on its own. So, okay, let the tissue paper do its thing. Okay. All right, I'm doing the other side. Okay. I'm very generous in applying the metal polish. Why? Because sometimes I just use it to easily clean small rust droplets on the surface of the katana. And it's going to be easier rather than to sandpaper those rust droplets. But it's easy to clean with the metal polish. Now, if it's a deep embedded rust, now you're gonna have to sand that off with a high grade sandpaper. So about 2000 grit minimum. But that's gonna be an ugly mess. It's gonna leave markings on the blade. You don't want that. So as much as possible, I would advise to just maintain your katana regularly. And make sure that you remove any possible rust. Okay. Now there's 2 kinds of rust: red rust and black rust. Now, if it's a black rust, you don't have to worry about it, but you can still remove it with the metal polish. If it's a red rust, that's very alarming because it can really create micro cracks to your blade and damage your blade permanently and internally. Okay. which will cause the blade to break when you're practicing, because the rust is inside and you can't see it with your naked eye, because what's happening is there's oxidation from within. Okay, now I'm trying to put some metal polish on the tsuba or the handguard and the brass fixtures. It's just, to remove the rust as well, because my tsuba is made out of iron or steel, regular steel. So, and also the pommel. But I just put on a few and just try to quickly. Okay, and then let's try to, also check and wipe off the scabbard, removing dust, and also making sure that there are no wood shavings inside. Okay, that can also cause rust. Like here, I found the wood shaving combined with old oil and wood shaving, and moisture, that's gonna generate rust. So we have to remove that. Make sure it's removed. Just fixing the sagio here, and there you go. Quick clean for the scabbard, while letting the metal polish do its thing. Okay, now we're gonna remove the metal polish. Okay, all right. I'm swiping it from the bottom to the tip of the blade, and I'm starting to polish the blood groove. Okay. All right, so here we got we're removing some of the metal polish on the handguard. Okay, we're gonna mirror polish the blade later on, but I'm just gonna make sure that the rust is removed from the tsuba. We don't want that falling onto the blade. Okay, we're removing the rust. Normally, since the handguard is exposed, it easily gathers rust because it's exposed in the air. I'd apply a little bit of oil there from time to time, but I wouldn't recommend too much oil, because of course it will slip in your hands and make the grip slippery. You don't want that. And also the lock of the blade, if it has oil, make sure it doesn't have oil, because it will loosen up from the mouth of the scabbard. So you don't want that. You don't want your blade falling off inadvertently because of the oil, the excess oil that is on the lock. Okay, polishing. Okay, trying to make a mirror finish. Okay, so working on the spine. Okay, so work towards this, work from the spine and then out to the blade, so that you won't get your fingers cut. Okay, so allow the tissue paper to make the polish near the edge so that your fingers won't get cut. Okay, so alright, make sure to angle the blade on the flat ends. Okay, so we just keep polishing till we get a mirror finish. Okay, so we got the mirror finish, and we just need to remove some of the extra remaining black residues that's on the other side. Okay, one thing I love about this katana is it's curved, and it's also a 1060 katana, high carbon steel. I love that this is it's a mid range of high carbon steel, which is perfect for tameshigiri, and the metal is very stable. Now, if you ask me, I prefer a curved blade with a 1060 steel. It's perfect for tameshigiri or cutting practice. So you got the mirror finish done. Okay, just gonna wipe it off a little extra, making sure that there's no residue. There you go. It's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, it's not a Japanese forged, but in terms of practicality, battle readiness, and Budo practice, this sword is already all that anybody could need. Okay, I'm just polishing the brass so that making sure that there's no residue of the metal polish, and making sure that there's a mirror finish as well. Okay, and I'm also polishing the tsuba at the same time. Okay, you see that? The gleam of the sword is beautiful. Okay, I've used this in a lot of demonstrations and performances when I was still studying. Most especially the very memorable one was the Samurai X live action demonstration we did in Ayala, Glorieta 4. When the very first installment of the Rurouni Kenshin was released, and the actors visited the Philippines. And then I used this katana to perform tameshigiri live on stage. It was an amazing experience. Now, that's why I keep this katana. It's a very very sentimental sword for me. Aside from the fact that I actually bought this from one of my best friends who was selling this katana. And immediately, the length of the blade, the curve, the shine, and the design, I just fell in love with it. It's like my lady. Anyway, now it's time to put the oil. Of course, you're gonna oil your lady. Anyway, so the oil will add to the shine, the shimmer of the blade, and at the same time protect it from rust and moisture. Okay, so we just need to spread it out from the spine to the side of both sides of the blade. Now this will keep your blade from rusting while it's kept inside the scabbard, okay, while in storage. But it's good to apply just the right amount of oil. Don't put too much. Too much it would like wax inside the scabbard, and that would not be great because the wood would attract moisture. So you just need the oil to protect the metal of your blade. Okay, so I'm putting something on the tip and let it drip and slide on the blade going down. And then I'm gonna work my way from the tip downwards. Let gravity do the work. Anyway, okay. This by the way is a woman's sword. It's an Ona Bugeisha design. I know what you're saying. I know what you're gonna say, but I love it. The size of the blade and the curvature is just perfect for me. So anyway, the sword in itself doesn't, the blade is whether you're male or female. you can use the blade. It's just the design of the tsuba that's different. There's the design of a cherry blossom and on a geisha on the tsuba. Now here we're ready to store the blade. Okay. All right. We're just making sure to remove any metal polish or oil that's on the tsuba and the pommel of the sword. Okay, and we're gonna making sure that we're safe. We put the thumb on the tsuba while we try to wrap. Okay, so that the sword won't fall off. Okay, we're gonna wrap around the sageo. Okay, make a basic knot just to secure the blade. Okay, and then bow after finishing of the cleaning. You always honor your weapon.